Well, this is a real good party. Happy birthday, First Filipino Seventh-day Adventist Church here in York Center. Wow! From the very first day I came here, and I met Carmelita and her husband and her sister and the entire congregation, I knew that this church is warm and welcoming and special right here in our community. And I really want to thank the pastor and everyone who is here to celebrate a major anniversary. You know, Carmelita, you're closing in on 50 years. We're at 46, and we're going to be there in a few years. But friends, let me tell you why I'm so umbilically tied to the special Filipino community we have right here. I'm tied because you have to go back in history to the 1970s. And Carmelita and her sister told me the story, and others who are here today who's tracing their families back a long time in Toronto will say the same story. 50 years ago, the Filipino community in Ontario was small. And one by one, the community grew. And along the way, when they originally came here and helped as support workers and as administrative workers, they grew, they brought their families. Filipinos became lawyers and doctors and engineers and business people and entrepreneurs. They became part of the fabric of Ontario, and they are so much part of why our province is great, because our diverse population recognizes one thing. It never matters where you came from or how you got here, but when you're here, you bring exactly who you are with you on the journey. Canada doesn't ask you to change. Ontario doesn't ask you to be something that you're not. Ontario welcomes everyone who they are, and that's what's important. And friends, let me tell you what's special to me about the Filipino community and why this month of June is so important. We celebrate Filipino Heritage Month. And thank you to people like the late Paulina Corpus and others who lobbied the government that we have to recognize June each year as Filipino Heritage Month. And that's something that I look forward to. And that's how we started the month, Pastor, in the month of June. A few days later, we celebrated Filipino Independence Day. That is so important, June the 12th, because we recognize that on its own, looking back over 120 years, the Filipinos became independent because they fought for their independence. It didn't just happen. And we can trace the stories all the way back to people that were not afraid to say, I will stand and wait for my country to be free. And that's something very important. And June 19th is the day we celebrate the birth of Jose Rizal, the modern day founder of the Philippines, a person that, believe it or not, traveled right here in Ontario before he passed away, believing that there would be a Philippines that would be independent and progressive and democratic and strong. And it's something that, although he didn't live to see, many of us as Knights of Rizal, of which I'm a proud honorary member, wear my barong very, very proudly. So we recognize also June 19th. So there's a lot happening in the month of June that binds this community together. But perhaps nothing more important than why we're here today. Because this property, this piece of land, this building right here is a building that recognizes the strength and vibrancy of the founders 46 years ago that established not only the first Filipino Seventh-day Adventist Church, because that on its own is amazing, but the very first Filipino church right here on Shepherd Avenue. Right here in Ontario, this was number one. So friends, I want to tell you this, and I want to tell the pastor as well. Today, the Filipino Ontarian community has emerged strong and vibrant, and my wife is, my family is so connected, so intertwined, so appreciative, so respectful, and I'll do anything to protect my Filipino community, not only today, but every day. And finally, and I don't want to steal the pastor's thunder, but I want him to go back to the words of the Philippine national anthem that I studied, Bayang Migilu. But what does it mean? It talks about the chosen land, Lupang Hininurang. It talks about the chosen land. Why was it chosen? Because if your dreams are too small, you'll never see it. You have to dream big. You have to hope in miracles. And the Filipino community around the world is proof that anything can happen now and always. So as I thank the organizers, Carmelita, and the church leaders, I just want to say this. This miracle on Shepherd is a blessing for generations. And I will, my family will, my staff will be with you every single day. And I hope and pray, Pastor, you'll continue to bestow blessings on us, that we should all be well and go from strength to strength. Thank you. Mabuhay! Okay, now I just want to present a certificate to the pastor. And by the way, if you ever take a holiday, you can invite me to speak.
Oh, yeah, sure.
As the proud MPP of York Centre and as an honorary member of a Knight Commander of the Knights of Rizal, I wish to extend my gratitude to the First Filipino-Canadian Seventh-day Adventist Church, honoring the 46th anniversary of the church. I'd like to congratulate you on this incredible celebration that showcases everything good in our community, Amen. That brings York Centre together. And as I said before, our diversity is our greatest strength.
Amen.
Congratulations.